I wasn't planning on starting the show like this, and I've already addressed this situation multiple times on Twitter, but tweeting a few tweets here and there for a couple days and actually saying it are two different things. For those of you who've been sticking by me the entire time, who've been loyal members of the DJ Storms posse, I think you already know what I'm about to say. For those of you who don't already know, you're going to know. What you see on YouTube and Twitter, it's not real. As it relates to me, everything that you see, it's just a gimmick. DJ Storms is the farthest thing from who I am as a human being. And I wanted to start off the video as Dominic Joseph Sparacia rather than DJ Storms to address the situation properly. Now, I just want to let you know I did not write anything down. I'm just going based off my thought pattern right now. For those of you who stuck by me, you would know that I have been highly critical and highly vocal, and I've ranted and I've raved and I've done this, I've done that, I've done everything in between as it relates to Roman Reigns. This past Monday on Raw, the very first segment that we saw was a segment with Roman Reigns addressing that he has had leukemia for 11 years, and unfortunately it came back, and he had to relinquish the Universal Championship. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. My frustrations and my anger has never been towards the person. It's always been towards the character, the booking, and the positioning. Those are three things that are completely out of his control. He's just doing his job. I don't hate the man. I have no reason to. The guy's just doing his job like he's told to do to get money to provide for his family. Laity Joseph Anoa'i is not a bad person whatsoever. And I don't hate him. I have much respect for him for being able to go forth with the plans that WWE has presented him. And that's where everyone's frustrations really lie. Everyone's frustrations really lie within the character, the booking, and the positioning. And let me tell you something. As a man who has lost both of his grandparents on his mother's side to cancer, and whose grandfather on his father's side has been dealing with cancer for over 2 decades, bless the man's heart, I know exactly what Roman Reigns' family is going through. I've been there. I've been down that road. I felt that struggle. And I'm not even lying when I tell you that my heart shattered into a million pieces when I saw Seth Rollins come out and I just saw him bawling his eyes out. Matter of fact, I'm not even exaggerating. When I saw Seth Rollins look directly into the camera, bawling his eyes out, I had flashbacks of when I was 7 years old, nearly 7 years old, walking into a hospital room, looking to my right, and seeing my grandfather passed out with a tube down his throat, trying to get a tumor out of his lung. And then just days later I find out he died. And I bawled my eyes out for 3 days straight. That's what I saw when I looked at Seth Rollins. I didn't even know my grandmother on my mother's side. She died of ovarian cancer. To this day, I still don't know how my grandfather on my father's side has been dealing with cancer for over 2 decades. But as far as Joseph Anoa'i goes, I wish him the best of luck. I give all of my support to the man and his family, and I am behind him 100% in this fight. Roman Reigns is what we hate. We do not hate Laity Joseph and Hawaii. Nobody deserves cancer. Absolutely nobody does. Whether you're the nicest person on the face of the earth or you're a serial killer in prison, I would never wish cancer upon anybody. Nobody deserves it. It is a deadly virus. Nor would WWE ever try and work you or make a joke out of cancer. It is a deadly virus that needs to be taken care of immediately. It has taken millions upon millions of lives, year by year. This is not a joke. And man to man, from Dominic Joseph Sparacia to Laity Joseph and Hawaii, you have my support. You have my prayers. And I just wanted to get that out of the way. I don't really know what else to say as it relates to that issue, but I wanted to address this face-to-face here on YouTube so you guys can really know how I feel about the entire situation. It is very heartbreaking to me. I do feel sorry for him. And I hope he comes back bigger and better than ever. Laity Joseph and Hawaii has my love and support. And I want to let everyone know I meant every single word that I said. Mom. I will certainly try to give you guys the best possible show that you can get. I'm not in the right frame of mind by now. You can leave a comment, tell me how I did, but I'm a little out of sorts. I'm a little out of sorts with this whole situation, but we're gonna snap back to old reliable, and I'm going to start the wrestling analytics the only way I know how. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms! And I would like to welcome all of you to the returning Lightning Flash update here on YouTube.com, as of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy, and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind. This is the official Lightning Flash update for October 26th, 2018, as we are just 2 days away from WWE Evolution. I will try my best to get a rundown for Evolution up tomorrow. Again, I've just been insanely busy. College work has had me tied up. I got 2 huge assignments due next week, so I'm going to try my best to get it up for you guys. No storm stream this weekend. I will try and get one more person on next weekend, and then the storm stream is going into hiatus until January. I got to keep them special. But if you guys are just joining me, hit that thumbs up. Got to get that thumbs up. We got to keep on moving the thumbs up ratio. Now, to those people that are going to give a thumbs down, fuck you. Make sure you leave a comment. Be sure to show the love and support. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys drop a huge coup de grace on that notifications bell. So we're going to get right into the festivities the only way we know how here on the Lightning Flash update with the weekly show reviews. Now, I'm basically just going to skim through Raw and SmackDown. I'm going to mainly focus on NXT UK, 205 Live, and NXT. And then I got some news and rumors about the Dean Ambrose heel turn. And yes, Dean Ambrose did turn heel on Monday Night Raw. It came out of nowhere after him and Rollins defeated Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler in a very good tag team main event to win the tag team titles. I don't know what's going to happen from here on out, but I can only assume that they're relinquishing the tag team titles. It could go back to McIntyre and Ziggler for all we know. But the main story of Raw was the Roman Reigns cancer situation, or the Joseph Anoa'i cancer situation, and then Ambrose's heel turn on Seth Rollins. We've already addressed those. Really nothing happened on Monday Night Raw. SmackDown Live, on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd probably rate this SmackDown Live at a 4.5. Realistically, there was only 2 matches worth going back and watching. The New Day kicked the show off. Kofi wanted revenge. The Big Show, Sheamus and Cesaro came out. Big Show faced off against Kofi Kingston. Then they had a huge brawl, and then the Bar stood tall at the end. Obviously, this is all leading towards the rematch between the New Day and the Bar at Crown Jewel. The Usos then defeated Styles and Bryan again for the second week in a row. This time, Styles was the one to strike Bryan by mistake, and the Usos won. Decent match for what it was. I was expecting it to be better than last week, but last week was actually better than this week. But the Usos win again. The tension is starting to build between Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. This should be probably one of the best matches of the year if they play their cards right at Crown Jewel. Becky Lynch attacked Charlotte during a lecture towards the NXT stars in the Performance Center. It really didn't feel right to me. I don't really know what they're doing, but this feud's really gone downhill. Hopefully, this is going to be the end of the line at WWE Evolution, and then Becky's going to retain, hopefully move on to a different opponent. My first pick would be Asuka, mainly because they really need to build her back up. Rusev defeated Aiden English in a matter of minutes. We had Miz TV with Rey Mysterio. And Miz TV was just, it was the standard shit for The Miz, poking fun at Rey Mysterio. The Miz then attacked Rey, which led to a match. It was a good match for what it was. And look, I apologize for my dog. There is no controlling my dog. Rey Mysterio defeated The Miz. Again, good match. But ultimately, it was nothing too special. Obviously, this is all leading towards the huge Crown Jewel tournament. I assume that it's going to be Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton, and then it's going to be Miz versus Jeff Hardy. But that's just me. There was a big women's brawl, and you're really doing a women's brawl for this women's battle royal to get me hyped for Evolution? Seriously. Evolution, realistically. When you take a look at Evolution, it is basically going to be a 3-match show. There's only 3 matches actually worth tuning in to watch at Evolution. And that's Io Shirai versus Toni Storm, Becky versus Charlotte, and then Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler. Other than that, the show's a complete waste of a pay-per-view. They have booked Evolution so poorly. So poorly, it is disgusting. And then we had a decent match in the main event between Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy. Randy Orton ended up winning, and that was pretty much that. Jeff Hardy did a running swanton from the apron to the floor. Orton rolled out of the way. Hardy, you gotta stop doing it. You got a year and a half left on your WWE contract. Stop doing these spots. Unless you want to go into an early retirement. Stop doing these spots. You are 40 years old. You can't be doing this anymore. You can't. I'm telling you, Jeff Hardy and Mustafa Ali are going to put themselves in the hospital one of these days with the spots that they've been taking. Let's talk about NXT UK. I didn't think this was going to be a reoccurring thing, but hopefully we can make NXT UK a reoccurring thing. Maybe I might combine it. Maybe I might combine it with the weekly show reviews, and then I may do a separate Lightning Flash Update Part 2 every single week with just the news, rumors, and reports. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as time goes on. Show started off with the Wild Boar Mike Hitchman versus El Ligero. This was the first time I saw both men, and both men are very good in the ring. Mike Hitchman is very stiff. Ligero is very swift. I was actually expecting Mike Hitchman to win based on the way that they've been presenting him, and he really looks like a force to be reckoned with. He looks like a beast, legitimately, and not just because of his attire. El Ligero ended up winning with a springboard tornado DDT, which looked very nice. And Ligero won in a good match. And I can't wait to see what they do with both men. I assume that El Ligero is going to be a major player. He just has that babyface-like mentality where the crowd just wants to root for him. He's very flashy in the ring. So I can't wait to see what both men do. Dakota Kai defeated Killer Kelly, and my God, the strikes in this match. The strikes in this match were brutal. Dakota Kai and Killer Kelly, when you're talking about brutality, all you need to do is watch the match and listen to the kicks and the strikes. Listen to the sound that the kicks and the strikes made. It was brutal. Dakota Kai ended up winning. Her finisher looked sloppy on Killer Kelly. I think Killer Kelly might have tripped or slipped. But I think Nigel McGuinness called it the Kai de Gras. But Dakota Kai wins. Decent match. I hated the ending. It looked sloppy as hell to finish. But afterwards, she cut a promo saying that she wants in on this NXT UK women's title picture. We already know who the NXT UK women's champion really is right now. It's Rhea Ripley. And she's been the champion for about 2 months now, and they still haven't aired the tournament. So I don't really know what they're doing there. I actually heard that from Valena. She's also a content creator. I think she has almost 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. If you want to go follow her, it's Valena Tweets. It's VELENA Tweets. That's her Twitter if you want to go check her out. Zach Gibson addressed the crowd. Zach Gibson. You know, I wasn't too keen on Zach Gibson, but he is like the NXT UK version of Tommaso Ciampa. He is a heat magnet. He is absolutely a phenomenal heel. Zach Gibson actually got the crowd to boost up the volume even louder. He was actually telling him, turn my mic up, turn my mic up. When the crowd was screaming, throwing their shoes in the air. Zach Gibson knows how to be a heel. Zach Gibson is great at what he does, and I can't wait to see what they do with Zach Gibson. He started trashing Noam Dar, and Noam Dar ended up coming out. Johnny Saint came out, told him to go to my office, and then a match was made for next week's episode of NXT UK. It is going to be Zach Gibson versus Noam Dar. That should be a damn good match. Ashton Smith defeated Tucker. This was basically a quick match, nothing too crazy. Ashton Smith won. I think he won with like a swinging neck breaker. I can't really remember. It's a dull blur, but I know Ashton Smith, he won. If they play their cards right, I think Ashton Smith could be a very good player, so to speak, in this NXT UK division. I'm very much interested in seeing what Ashton Smith brings to the table. He didn't really showcase too much in the UK tournament, but, you know, if they give him more of an opportunity, I think he can be a valuable player. Danny Burch will make his debut for NXT UK next week as well. In the main event, Tyler Bate defeated Wolfgang. Now, this started off a bit slow, but it turned into a good match. I originally thought they were going to give the win to Wolfgang, mainly because of the fact that, you know, Tyler Bate is already in a tag team with Trent Seven, Mustache Mountain, and they're vying for the NXT UK tag team titles. So I thought they were going to give Wolfgang the push because Wolfgang is the singles competitor. But they gave Tyler Bate the win. I'm interested to see where both men go from here because NXT UK, new brand of entertainment, same format as NXT, but we're seeing superstars that we never really got to see. There's only a few familiar faces in NXT UK. Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne, Mark Andrews, Noam Dar, but that's about it. Now is where it's really going to start to heat up in the UK. And the crowd is great. 205 Live. This was 205 Live's 100th episode. 100 episodes, 205 Live, and they delivered. They damn sure delivered. Mike Kanellis versus Lince Dorado. Now, Mike Kanellis hasn't really shown me anything since he actually came to WWE, but this match, for what he showed, he did an adequate job. Picture perfect super kick. That beautiful spine buster, which Lince Dorado was at least 8 feet in the air. He really popped up Lince Dorado for that spine buster. This was a very good match. Lince Dorado was the leader in this match. By the end of it, it was actually a pretty good performance for both men. Lince Dorado hit the shooting star press, but Mike Kanellis got his foot on the rope. Lince Dorado, he got caught with a huge spine buster. Then to the outside, Mike Kanellis took out the other members of Lucha House Party. Lince Dorado out of nowhere, huge Hurricane Rana off the apron. He was getting Mike Kanellis back in the ring, but Mike Kanellis kind of whacked Lince's head off the top rope, then took advantage with that modified swinging neckbreaker DDT. I don't know what they're calling it, but nevertheless, it looked swift. And Mike Kanellis gets his first win on 205 Live. If they play their cards right, and keep having him win, keep building him up, develop a little bit more of a character other than this power of love thing. I don't really think this power of love thing is working out. I would like to see Mike Kanellis as the Miracle again, as that cocky heel. But adding Mike Kanellis to the Cruiserweight division, good on you, Triple H, because he's running 205 Live. And I think Mike Kanellis could very well be a major player if they play their cards right. Jack Gallagher versus the Brian Kendrick is announced for next week. Kendrick cut a short promo in the back about No Mercy, and he promised to show Jack Gallagher absolutely no mercy, so that should be a damn good match. In the main event, Falls Count Anywhere, Mustafa Ali and Hideo Itami. These two did not disappoint. These two literally tore each other apart. The spots in this match were absolutely brutal. Let me tell you something. Mustafa Ali, I don't know how he agrees to take these spots, but legitimately, Mustafa Ali's body should be ruined. I don't know how Mustafa Ali's even going to get up the next day without feeling some sort of pain, or at least struggling just a little bit. They absolutely tore each other apart. Hideo Itami with the opportunistic strikes. There was a point where Hideo Itami tripped Mustafa's legs out from under him, and Mustafa fell back first into the timekeeper's area. Then we had a spot where Hideo Itami drop kicked Mustafa off the table, back first into the barricade. Hideo Itami actually tried to squash Mustafa's head between the steel steps. Well, he was stacked up on one mountain of the steel steps, if you want to call it that. He was stacked up on the first pair of steel steps. Hideo took the bottom one. He was going to crush his head. Mustafa moved out of the way. Mustafa runs up. He runs up the bottom of the steel steps, and they were slanted. It was a flat surface, slanted, as if you were sliding down a hill. He walked up the steel steps like Spider-Man and jumped off into a beautiful tornado DDT on the outside. I still don't know how Mustafa Ali does it. The guy never botches. He never botches. I swear that this guy, he is not human. He is an absolute machine. Mustafa Ali, each and every single time he goes out there, he proves that he is world championship material, and it is a damn shame that he's reduced to a cruiserweight division. I would love to see that guy challenging Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental Championship. But Mustafa Ali won with a huge 450 from the top turnbuckle to the floor, and Hideo was laid out on the table, and before Mustafa did it, he said, "I always respected you." 450 through the table, picture perfect. Mustafa Ali wins a great main event, a great match, a brutal match, and Mustafa Ali was then placed in a number one contenders match with Tony Nese by Drake Maverick, and the winner will face Buddy Murphy for the Cruiserweight Championship, which I am assuming it's going to happen at Crown Jewel. I don't understand why it wouldn't. But my God, Mustafa Ali, man. Mustafa Ali is one of these key pillars that is keeping 205 Live up. The viewership's going up. Crowd's better. 205 Live's doing some great things. And you know that the WWE main roster is doing something wrong. You know the WWE main roster is doing something wrong when someone, and not just me, numerous amounts of people have been praising a 1-hour show with a roster less than 20 people over two of WWE's longest-running television shows in history, SmackDown and Raw. You know that Vince McMahon is doing something wrong when we're praising 205 Live over Raw and SmackDown. Great episode of 205 Live. Moving on to NXT. And this was a very intriguing episode of NXT. that offered a lot of shock, so to speak. The Undisputed Era kicked off the show. Bobby Fish is back, saying that they will get people to fear NXT. EC3 comes out. EC3 is over in Full Sail. Hopefully he gets over with the TakeOver crowd sooner rather than later. But EC3 is over in Full Sail. He comes out and he makes the match, or he wants a match with Adam Cole, and then the match was made official. Referee comes out, match is made, and it was only about like 9 minutes, I would say. 9 minutes, and EC3 was able to defeat Adam Cole in a good match for what it was. EC3 was able to fight off Undisputed Era for the moment. EC3 gets the roll-up. EC3 gets a big win over Adam Cole. But afterwards, the Undisputed Era attacked EC3. There was total elimination, last shot, and then Bobby Fish took a huge chair swing and hit EC3 right in the leg, injuring him. So the Undisputed Era, even in defeat, they still look strong. We had Mia Yim making her NXT debut. Now, Mia Yim, I don't want to criticize her right out of the gate because, she just showed up. But, I don't know. Mia Yim, like, she has a great look. She has, like, a great attitude. She has a great character. But in the ring, I don't know. She just seems a bit sloppy in the ring. But I'm assuming that is going to get better with time. But Mia Yim defeated Aaliyah, gets her first big win here on NXT. Next week, we actually got a huge tag team match. The War Raiders are going to face the returning Bobby Fish and Adam Cole. Cassius Ohno then just defeated a jobber, completely destroyed this poor soul. Destroyed him with kicks, destroyed him with elbows. He was bleeding from the mouth, the poor kid. And Cassius Ohno gets his 4th win in a row on NXT. So, then we had Nikki Cross saying, I know what you did, I know what you did. We still don't know what Cassius Ohno did. William Regal then made his War Games announcement. Actually, before then, they advertised that next week, the King of Bros, Mr. Matt Riddle, is going to be making his debut in NXT. Can't wait to see what Matt Riddle's all about. But William Regal was going to make his War Games announcement. Ciampa came out. He's like, okay, let's see who it is. Velveteen Dream came out. He said, I think the crowd at NXT TakeOver want an experience. So he's basically hinting that, Dream versus Ciampa for the title. Lars Sullivan came out, and he was saying, no, you're all standing in Lars Sullivan territory. I should be the one fighting Ciampa. Dream said, look, Sullivan, when you're talking to the Dream, I'm going to need you to wear some pants. Then Lars Sullivan just started choking out Velveteen Dream with a Tongan death grip. But then out of nowhere, Nikki Cross comes out saying, he's coming. Then we go to the parking lot. Aleister Black is there beating the shit out of the security guards. He opens the door. Some security guard walked right into a black mass. And then he starts walking into the arena, black massing and attacking everything in sight. Ciampa, Dream, and Sullivan. Well, Sullivan gets black masked. Dream gets out of there. Ciampa gets out of there. And then he starts holding William Regal saying, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? I want to know where he is. Out of nowhere, some guy wearing all black super kicks Aleister Black. And then the camera caught his face. It was Johnny Gargano. And he said, I'm right here. Now, why is Gargano doing this? Listen. Gargano, I think he has the ability to get over as a heel, but I don't think that it is what you think it is. Now, if it was going to be Gargano, then I actually thought of something. Do you remember the end of 2013? The last Raw of 2013. Daniel Bryan was in a feud with the Wyatt family. He asked to join the family, and Bray Wyatt accepted. He was in the Wyatt family for all of 2 weeks. When he was locked inside of a steel cage, with Bray Wyatt, after 2 weeks of being with the Wyatt family, what happened? He revealed all of it to be a ruse. He revealed all of it to be merely a facade. He was playing them the entire time, and when he took off the Wyatt family gear, when he threw Bray Wyatt back and forth into the cage, and when he delivered that running knee in Providence, Rhode Island, that crowd absolutely exploded as if it was WrestleMania. Think about that. I think that Triple H is going to do the same thing with Johnny Gargano. I think that Johnny Gargano was playing us. I think he merely did this to gain Tommaso Ciampa's trust. And he's going to wait. He's going to help Ciampa. He's going to help Ciampa win and win and win until after TakeOver Phoenix in January. He's going to wait, he's going to plot, and he's going to be very patient. And then when Ciampa's all to himself, he's going to strike like a cobra. And he's going to reveal all of this to be a ruse. Johnny Gargano, he's going to say, he realizes that he can't just beat Tommaso Ciampa. He needs to outsmart Tommaso Ciampa. I think that's what this is leading to. If not, I trust Triple H that he's going to make this storyline huge. He's going to make this storyline between Black and Gargano a must-see match. It's already a must-see match. Gargano versus Black is WrestleMania like caliber. You can't get any bigger than Gargano versus Black unless you add Ciampa in there. I actually hope we do get the triple threat match somewhere down the line.